Welcome back to another Halloween horror guide, and this time it's for the free streaming service Plex. In these videos I choose a handful of films that I personally think would be perfect to watch this time of the year. Plex actually has some really good variety. There is a lot of horror films set around Halloween and Halloween haunts in particular. We have a mix of some more underrated horror films and a few more well-known ones that I think definitely deserve a place on this list. First, we have the House's October Belt. A group of 5 friends go on a road trip to seek out scare event locations but end up being targeted by a disturbed group. They're trying to find the most extreme and disturbing haunted house in the world, and they're filming the process, so we see this film as found footage. There are some really scary and creepy scare actors and props within these scare events. Obviously, they're only going to the ones that are most extreme, so there's bound to be lots of jump scares and things that are intentionally trying to terrify them. Like a few films on this list, it is set on or around Halloween and about scare events, so it is just perfect to watch in October. Whilst I don't think this is the best found footage film, I do think it's a fun one to stick on if you want something more from the Halloween scare attraction gimmick. For me, although I would rate this one kind of low, I still would stick it on for a rewatch in October as it is entertaining and just has the right vibes. I kind of put this in my own category of bad horror films that are good. So like ones that maybe don't have the biggest budget or have some cheesy moments, but they are kind of a comfort watch guilty pleasure. Next is a film from the mid-70s, and that is Deep Red. A musician investigates a series of mysterious murders. Like in a lot of giallo films, we see parts of the murders happening but only see the killer's hands, and they are wearing black gloves. Giallo films are Italian stylistic murder mysteries that usually all surround uncovering who is the killer, who we only see the hands of, and in some cases we see them as a masked killer. Their identity is always hidden until the end. The opening credits scene is one of my favourite scenes in this film. It really hooked me from the get-go. The score is absolutely wild, but it fits in really well because it does kind of feel mysterious. It's shot beautifully with some really dramatic angles and lighting to just make it even more creepier, especially when the dolls and puppets come into this film. As this is a 70s film, watching it now, the dolls just look so much more sinister, being made from porcelain and having these creepy little faces. I wanted to include this film because murder mysteries always feel best watched in autumn, and this one has the creepiness of the dolls, a little bit of gore, so it just felt like a good option. My next recommendation is Bloody Hell. A man is desperate to escape his mysterious past and the hell that he is currently living in, so he decides to flee the country, but unfortunately his journey doesn't go to plan and he ends up in a much worse situation when he's kidnapped by a psychotic family. If he wants to survive, then he needs to figure out a plan and get out before the end of the night. This film is so unique. Obviously the kidnapping trope has been done many times, but never quite like this. It's not your typical kidnapping. There are also some really funny moments alongside all of the tension. It's quite action-packed. Some of it kind of feels like comic book style fighting. It will have you glued to the screen with so much going on. I never see anyone talk about this film. I never see anyone recommend it, so I would call it a hidden gem. If you're looking for some gory, silly fun, then definitely check out Bloody Hell. I am personally very due a rewatch. Next is a more popular film that is set around Halloween, and that is Terrifier. 2 friends, Tara and Dawn, end up stranded on Halloween night when they realise their car has a flat tyre. They are suspicious that it could have been the weird clown guy that they saw earlier that night in a late night diner, but they are so over it at this point, so Tara phones her sister Victoria to come and pick them up. Whilst they are waiting for Tara's sister, Tara really needs the bathroom, so she goes and asks a nearby pest control guy if she can use the bathroom in the building that he is working in. She goes inside but ends up finding more than just the bathroom when Art the Clown begins pursuing her. This is a grimy, gritty slasher film. Very over the top gore to showcase some impressive practical effects, but it is incredibly disturbing and sick. They show just about everything. Unlike a lot of films that pan away at the gore or just show a little bit, Terrifier instead relies on long, drawn-out scenes of kills for its main horror element. There is also some creepiness and super tense moments. I do personally think that this film is maybe 20 to 30 minutes too long. Towards the end, I do kind of find that it is dragging a little. These aren't really films that I go to rewatch too often, but I just had to put Terrifier on this list, especially with it being set around Halloween. So if you're looking for a bloody slasher with an iconic horror villain, then this could be a good choice. Obviously, it is very graphic, so keep that in mind. Art the Clown is a really cool villain, and David Howard Thornton, who plays him, seems like a really sweet guy. My next recommendation is another one that is quite popular within the horror community, and that is House LLC. In this supernatural found footage film, we follow a group of people setting up a Halloween haunt attraction, House. We see the events leading up to opening night, where a tragic accident happens. We follow a documentary crew as they try to uncover what happened that tragic night. Obviously, again, being set around a Halloween haunt event, it's great for October, and the reason why I wanted to include it in this list, as well as it being absolutely terrifying and having some terrifying imagery, especially with some of the props inside the haunt. In particular, a clown. If you know, then you know. I know a lot of people love going to these haunt events. For me personally, they scare the life out of me, and I just couldn't think of anything worse. I really wish I was someone who loved to go to them, and I have tried, but I don't think they'll ever be for me. There's a really uneasy feeling throughout this whole film. All of the props are just really fun to look at and solidify why this is just such a good October watch. There is actually also a new installment to this franchise that is coming out to Shudder this month, making 5 House films altogether. Next on this list is House of a Thousand Corpses. A group of friends are on the road with the goal of writing about roadside attractions. They meet up with Captain Spaulding, who owns the Museum of Monsters and Madmen, a vibrant and creepy roadside attraction in which Spaulding also hosts. When they are there, they learn about the legend of Dr. Satan and head off to do their own digging. This film is part of the Firefly trilogy that also has the films The Devil's Rejects and Free from Hell. We get a lot of spooky imagery with a few creepy locations, not just the museum, but that one definitely has an eerie vibe. We see a lot of strange and interesting characters along the way. Of course, we have Captain Spaulding, a very bold and eccentric clown, but some of the others that we meet later on don't have such a colourful vibe like him, and they are a lot more sinister. The design of the museum is so cool. It is very carnival-esque, but you just know something is not quite right with it. House of a Thousand Corpses is really fun with a darker turn, not shy on the gore and disturbingly scary shots. Next is quite a wacky one, and that is Willy's Wonderland. Nicolas Cage plays the janitor, our nameless main character. As his car breaks down in the middle of nowhere, a stranger offers to help if the man will work to cover the costs of repairs. The work is to spend the night as a janitor at Willy's Wonderland, an old abandoned family entertainment centre. When he gets there, it kind of seems like there isn't much to do, and he assumes there's going to be a quiet night for easy money. This is until he is attacked by an animatronic animal and realizes that all of these once cute animatronics have now turned demonic. This is quite obviously based on the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. This one did come out before the Five Nights film, but of course we had the whole Five Nights franchise before the film. Comparing the films, this one is a lot more violent. We see the janitor fight against these animatronics in classic Nicolas Cage rage cage style. If you've seen him in any of the horror films, then you know that he always seems to play a similar character who gets very angry and goes a bit bonkers. Something about this film that I didn't even notice when I watched it is that Nicolas Cage's character of the janitor slasher has no dialogue at all. How did I watch the whole film and not even realise this? If you're looking for something wacky and over the top with lots of action, then this is a fun one to check out. My kind of last recommendation is Open 24 Hours. Mary starts a new job working the night shift at a gas station following her recent release from the mental hospital. She is keen to get back on her feet and to keep the past where it belongs. On her first shift, the careless other employees just leave her alone and strange things start happening. She begins to receive weird phone calls from a stranger, which starts making Mary feel distressed. As the night goes on, she realizes that she may be in danger. We get quite a bit of gore and a decent kill count, which I really appreciate from a slasher. This isn't just a straightforward slasher, it's one with some extra mystery, one that is best gone into knowing as little as possible. It has a really creative storyline that takes a dark, serious topic and makes it lighter and entertaining with dry comedy and unexpected moments. The characters are all really interesting, especially the main character Mary. I became quickly invested in what was going on with her. I wanted to include an underrated slasher in this list. It has creepy moments, lots of blood, and is set in heavy rain. So I don't know about anywhere else in the world, but here in the UK, autumn means lots of rainy days. So I now wanted to include a bonus pick, and it's a bonus pick because it's actually a film I haven't got round to watching. I'm really hoping to watch it this October still though. That bonus pick is a film called Trick. So I never recommend films that I haven't seen before, but I'm going to make one exception and just briefly talk about it because obviously I haven't seen it yet, so it could not be a very good film, but I'm sure some people will enjoy it, and it seems to be set around Halloween, so we can go into it blind together. I have seen some mixed reviews, so go into it at your own will. In this slasher, we follow the villain Trick, who only comes out to claim victims around Halloween. A relentless detective is set on putting a stop to this killer once and for all. So that's all I've got to say about that bonus pick, but if you decide to watch it, then let me know. I'm also going to try to watch it in the next few days, so maybe I will leave a comment to tell you what I thought of it, and if you have already watched it, then let me know if you liked it or not. Also, definitely let me know if there are any other films on Plex that you think are great to watch in October or around Halloween. I have done Halloween horror guides for lots of streaming services, so if you don't use Plex, then you can always check out my other ones. I will put them all into a playlist so they're easy to find. I am posting a lot of videos this October, so I really hope you enjoy all the spooky content, and if you want even more content, then you can always check out my Patreon, which will be linked in the description. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again in another one very soon.